Hey guys, today I will be doing my July wrap-up. So, a minute ago, when I got all my books that I read this month from my shelf, I realized that I read 8 books this month and I am so happy about it. And 5 of these I read during the booktubeathon, so yeah, that has been successful for me. So the first book that I really wanted to read this month and then started and finished was These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. And I have to say I liked this book, but I didn't love it. I have been wanting to read this for so long and I got it pretty recently after its release. There definitely were a few twists that I didn't see coming, but that book it didn't blow me away. And I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And then my booktubeathon started and the first book that I read was Ink by Amanda Sun. I have mentioned this enough times before that I already started this, I think in March, and never really finished it because I wasn't into it. And I am still not into it. So I read it and it was enjoyable, but I was just not really in the story. I didn't feel anything. I'm still happy I read it, but yeah, it's just, normally I get so invested when I'm reading and this felt like it was just so far away from me. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, so yeah, I mean, that's still a really good rating, I guess. The next book I read for the booktubeathon was a reread, and that is Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. I loved this just as much the third time around, and I finally started to, mark some of my favorite parts in this, and yeah, I think this is a book that I will just reread for years now because I just love it so much. The next book I read is Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan, and I didn't even give this a rating. I think I did not really understand that book. I'm not even sure if what I read is something that I like enough to reread it at some point, but I really think I should reread it because I didn't really get it. This is probably a beauty that I just didn't understand. I don't know why. Maybe I didn't pay enough attention while reading it. Maybe it was because it happened in the booktubeathon and I was just too invested in reading so much that I didn't really concentrate on the beauty that this book is. I really just feel like I did not get, the story at all. The next book that I read was Neil by Lynn Madsen, and I have been wanting to read it since its release too because I loved the cover from the beginning, and then I thought that the story had a really interesting idea. Basically teenagers that get trapped on an island and they have 1 year to escape, and if they do not escape then they will die. And I really liked the concept and I also really liked the book. I have to say that I was definitely not disappointed by this book. It was just everything that I wanted from it and everything that I expected. I really liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars and I would definitely recommend it if it seems interesting to you. And the last book that I read for the booktubeathon was The Timekeeper by Mitch Albom, and I absolutely loved this book. It was so good and I don't even know what to say about it. It's just such a beautiful book and it has a great moral, and it was just so different from everything that I have read the past few weeks, and I'm just so happy I read this book. 5 out of 5 stars, definitely. And after that I was in the mood for reading another maybe life-changing book. I didn't want to read some light YA contemporary or fantasy or something, so I decided to pick up I Am the Messenger by Markus Zusak because I was expecting Markus Zusak to just write another beautiful book, just as The Book Thief is, and I was not disappointed. This book was hilarious and beautiful and just, I loved it so much. This is definitely my favorite book of the month. The Timekeeper was a very, it kind of felt like a fairy tale, the way it was told, and this just was, it basically just read like a normal YA contemporary, but then you just notice this great story and just the moral, and yeah, I just loved this. 5 out of 5 stars for this, and I would definitely recommend it. And the last book that I read this month was a book that I did not plan to read at all, but when I was browsing through Amazon, I found this book for 99 cents as an ebook, and I decided to get it, and then I was really in the mood to read it, and that is We Will Liars by E. Lockhart. I personally have to say that I tried my best not to be influenced by the hype. Basically, I went into it with the expectations that I would not really find it as special as anyone else, and that is basically what happened with the book. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars, so it was a good book, but the way everyone talks about it was definitely not the way that I felt about it. I am definitely with everyone else and saying that you should just read it and experience the story for yourself and try not to get influenced by the hype. And yeah, I can definitely understand why people love it as much as they do. And I also see the brilliance of this book. I really see it, but it wasn't enough for me to give it 5 stars. I just wasn't invested in it enough. So yeah, but still it was a really, really great book. So I get it now. I get it. These were all the books that I read in July. I'm really happy with all the books that I read. I'm currently 5 books ahead with my Goodreads challenge, which is awesome, and that is basically thanks to the BookTubeathon. There has not been one book so far this whole year that I rated lower than 3 stars. That's really cool, and yeah, I'm excited to read more beautiful books in August. Let me know how many books you read in July and what was your favorite book of the month, and I guess I'll see you soon. Bye!